I'm your host, George, as an amazing guest we have here today, an entrepreneur, athlete. He works out, amazing guy. Fabio, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Doing great today. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. It's an honor. We met at the gym, actually working out. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background? Who you are?
Yeah, my name is Fabio Gomez. I'm originally from Colombia. I came to the United States when I was like 18, 19. I went to school here. I finished school. Then I did I got my marketing degree. Then I came from a family of entrepreneurs, so we started developing houses, and then I got into the construction business, and here I am doing high-end bathroom remodel.
Wow, nice, man. That's very nice. So you said you come from a background that were already in the building business, entrepreneurs.
Yeah, yeah. My dad, I never saw him working for anybody.
Okay.
We came from Colombia. He came to invest money in the United States, and he started developing properties in Fort Lauderdale. And then that was my weekend job in high school. Like,
Okay.
I never got money. He never gave us money.
You were just out there. Well, I mean, you were helping out.
He gave us opportunities. He gave us a car, but I had to pay for the car. Like he paid the down payment, and then I had to pay for the note and things like that.
Of course.
So the job that were available for us on weekends were working at the construction sites. So I learned the trade.
So pretty much you were going out there working and
Yeah.
getting us served a very hot meal.
Pretty
At
much.
home.
Yeah, and also it was like okay, because he was buying. This part is incredible because he was buying houses in the court, right?
Okay.
And then he was going and getting quotes from guys like, this is how much for flooring, this is how much for this, and then he would tell me like, this is the budget. You want to do a floor, you want to do a paint. I'll give you a contract. I lend you this Home Depot credit card.
Yeah.
You go buy the products, and then you pay me back at the end when I pay you back when you finish the job. And so I learned everything that I learned right now about construction. I learned it right.
Literally, so your part-time job that you were getting for was your school to now being successful.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I can see that. So how you graduated in what exactly?
Business administration with a focus on marketing.
That's why your business is striving for sure. I can see it.
Yeah.
So okay, your whole family is from Colombia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We moved to the United States in 1998 for security reasons. You know, a guerrilla wants to kill you or take your shit. So we moved here. Then I started going. I finished high school here. Then I went to school, and then here I am.
A Colombian in the United States, bro.
Many of us.
Yeah, man. That's why your English is very good. That's why I couldn't really pick up your nationality. I couldn't really notice.
Yeah,
Um,
and the one thing about like I have an accent, I know, but it's like I figured in Miami having an accent is an asset. And
is it what?
it's an asset.
Is an asset.
Yeah, literally.
Bro, I
then-
love that. I love that. By the way, having an accent in Miami is is an asset.
It's an asset, and then because people are always afraid of they're gonna like the first thing you gotta do, like I do a lot of like very expensive sales. Some of my buttons are $70,000. Some of my projects are 500, 200, $300,000 projects.
Okay.
And most of my clients are Americans. And the first thing I do when I start, having the whole introduction of myself, I said, you know what, my English is not very good looking, but don't hesitate to ask me any questions. I don't care. I repeat myself, and then they crack a joke, and it's done.
Como Celia Gru.
Yeah.
My English is not very good looking.
Yeah.
I think, bro, now that you put it in that manner, how you laid it out, it sounds so true. Like having an accent in Miami is an asset. Wow, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, no, I've because people are always afraid of they're not
I
gonna
have an accent. you
yeah
know?
have an accent, they're not gonna hear me.
Me, for
wrong.
example,
Yeah.
I'm Cuban. My wife is Venezuelan, and I have an accent. The accent is so. So the way I see it is the accent is so who you are.
Exactly, and also it's like it's an it identifies you. You know,
It
like yeah, it's a
identifies you.
brand.
Yeah,
You know, they immediately
it
like it's like I
identifies who you
mean,
are and where you're from, man. Colombia. What
and
part of Colombia you're
I'm
from?
from Cali.
Cali.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta go to Cali.
Oh, Cali is a beautiful city.
I've been to Colombia, but I haven't been to Cali, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely gotta go there. I
Cali.
love Colombia's, man. It's a vibe.
Oh yeah, yeah. Colombia is a beautiful country. I go back and forth a lot. I'm starting a business over there also for Airbnbs,
Okay.
and it's a thriving country. It has a lot of problems. You just gotta learn how to deal with the culture, the violence sometimes. You gotta learn how to move.
It's listen. It's out of the U.S. It's out of the U.S. Definitely. You do not when whoever knows that steps out of the U.S. knows that you got to move differently,
Yeah.
especially in Latin countries.
One thing about Americans is they don't realize how blessed they are until
They're
they
truly blessed.
until
Yes.
they go to countries like us. Like, oh, do I have to hide my cell phone? I cannot just walk around with my Rolex everywhere.
Yeah, I was just telling a story this morning how I was in I went to my best friend's wedding in Costa Rica, and I'm in a horse, right? We're back horse riding, and I'm wearing my Rolex 45 on the wrist. We're at a corner, and this, we're just hanging out at a bar, drinking beers in Costa Rica, like super down to earth place. And this guy the bartender goes, "How much is that?" Man, you can get that like for $300. Yeah, definitely. You can get that for like $300. Right then and there, I was like, oh man, I'm wearing the wrong thing around the wrong place, brother.
Yeah.
So I know what I know what you're saying. I've been to Colombia, so I know I don't wear, I don't wear nothing in Colombia.
Yeah, it gets to a point.
No de papaya.
Never, never. It gets to a point that you cannot run with your AirPods. Like it's crazy sometimes. Like because we go up the hill for like 30-40 minutes. It's like a workout in Cali. And they've been stealing so many cell phones that now it's like you cannot even wear your AirPods because if you're wearing your AirPods, they know you have an Apple Watch, so they want to get the AirPods on the Apple Watch
Or an Apple phone.
or the Apple phone. Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
you're something's attached to those AirPods,
yeah,
definitely.
exactly. So
Yeah.
so you just gotta like go. Don't even
Levels of
Nothing.
giving papaya in Colombia. So if you were wearing your AirPods, they know you have a phone or an Apple Watch.
Or an Apple Watch.
So you're gonna get taken.
Yeah.
Your AirPods are gonna get lost, and your Apple phone or your iPhone is gonna get lost in Colombia. So don't give papaya.
Yeah, no. I always tell people, and people don't realize, and then people wanna complain about America. I'm like, bro, this country
You
is
live
so-
in the best. You live. We do live in the best city and the best
and the
world.
most advantageous country, and like
Especially here in Miami, man. This is the
Miami.
most striving city right now.
Oh, Miami! I see Miami. I've been in love with Miami since I came here because
You came straight from Colombia,
Colombia
to Miami.
Yeah, no, Miami is a thriving city, man. I came here in 1998. I went to school for a little bit in Missouri, and then I came back, and it was like so much opportunity everywhere. It's like
Everywhere.
constant. It's people always coming, changing. You have to level your game up constantly. As my industry, at least, you have to do. And people always complain, like some people just want to pay cheap labor, but nah, there's a market for like good quality work. People will pay.
Yeah,
for it.
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
It all depends how where you compete, but if your work is good, your Miami is and it's only gonna grow. It's just there's nothing. There's only buildings going up and better buildings are going up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a lot of new construction right now in Miami.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching and you see all cranes around Miami, that means every little crane out there right now,
It's moving millions of
it's
dollars.
a major building. So we're under major construction. Miami's got like buildings that are being planned out right now that are gonna be built in 2030.
Yeah, and the other thing is the amount of money that has moved here to Miami from after the pandemic. Literally, I think Miami is a different city completely.
Absolutely.
You can
It's a different beast.
Yeah.
It's gaining energy now to become one of the largest and striving city
is
in the world.
and right now, statistically, it's one of the most expensive cities in the world. And yeah, that has take a toll on people, but also I think it's also an opportunity to level up. Like you have to learn to make more money.
Yeah, you seen Miami grow because you got here.
1998, yeah.
Yeah, so you've seen the. I've only seen it from 2005.
Yeah, no, and also it's like from the pandemic to this point is like if you drive around Wynwood, and if the area, the restaurants, the amount of 5-star Michelin restaurants, they're always busy. The amount of festivals on weekends, the amount of events that are coming to Miami every weekend, it's just so much, and I think people complain that it has gotten so expensive, and yes, it does. But also, you have to learn how to adapt and make more money with what you do, and learn how to attack new customers, because also the customers that are coming to Miami, they don't want cheap labor, they don't want cheap stuff. They're looking for good stuff. And if
The
you,
good quality customers
Yeah.
are. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. How yeah, either yeah, that was an interesting topic where how do you stay living in Miami with the same amount of money that you got here with, So you got to up your game.
yeah, you gotta level up. Like in my business, like you have to level up. There, if you're just fighting for like if you're in the construction and you're just trying to do like low end like cheap construction, you're always fighting for pennies. But
Define that a little bit more so that people can understand. Like, what are you trying to say? How
because
how going the extra mile, getting the cardboards and covering the floors and covering the protection of the homes. Elaborate on that a little bit better.
And also, like, when you're building, you're doing something appealing to the eye, something that's very emotional at the end, right? So you have to, like, in the way I approach everything. This is because I have a marketing degree, which gives me an advantage. So my company has a CMO, and a small company doesn't have the money to hire a CMO, a chief marketing officer,
Right.
because most companies don't have. Mid-sized companies have 100, some $1,000 to just pay a CMO, right? So I'm my own CMO. So I approached everything from the sales aspect. So the moment that I visit the house, I create the render, the whole beautiful design of the bathroom. From that moment, if the customer has the money, it's an emotional transaction because they want something beautiful,
It's an
And
emotional transaction. Yes, it is. It becomes an emotional transaction when you're dealing with the right customer that's got the right funds to pay their vision, because you're bringing their bathroom into vision.
and the entire house, because I enter the house for the bathroom, and then I end up doing kitchens and wall units and floors and all that
So
stuff.
pretty much
Most
everything in a house, interior
remodels.
design,
Yeah. So
interior remodels.
interior remodels, exactly. So, and the point is like, if they can afford me, they will go with me, because I'm the one who. The moment that I enter like this. I don't dress like a construction guy. I enter like that. I come prepared. I say, listen, this is my pictures. This
You
is
give
my work.
professional. You
Yeah.
enter with professionalism.
Yeah, exactly. And I have invested money in like a good CRM and all these issues that happen in the background that actually made me look bigger than I am as a company. Because the
Okay.
moment that they call me, I put my information in my CRM, and it's like they get a text message, they get an email for the appointment, boom boom, and they're like, your secretary, like, it's like a huge company is coming to visit them,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And it's all this took me like 30 minutes to set up on the computer.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always, and I speak to our contractors, and they're like, they still send me their quotes on like QuickBooks and stuff. I'm like,
What are you doing?
what are you doing, man? It's like,
What are you doing?
you send me a text message with a quote.
Yeah.
and I'm like, you make it too easy.
Yeah. What are
Like
you doing?
all I have
Yeah.
to do is.
But that's what makes you stand out, or that's what makes people that are giving good quality stand out, because you're going the extra mile of being corporate.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
showing the
exactly.
corporate side of how we do and how everything should be done.
Yeah.
You know, like the other day, my a friend of mine was like, "Bro, just use QuickBooks. It's cheap."
Why?
So every technician that goes out into the field in my in the HVAC world that I'm in, they gotta take pictures, start, finish, videos, and there's a whole script of things that they gotta follow. This like what you're saying. This is not an easy and or so to say is not a cheap system.
No, it's an investment. It's also an investment of time. Like I had to call the the CRM, like back office, and they specialize. They I got my
I got
quotes.
freezing.
I got I got everything in there, and but then once I start rolling, the customers all like even customers that are into like softwares and stuff, they're like, oh, you guys got everything set up, and that makes a difference. It makes a big difference, especially when you're going after the big items, because like
The high ticket
yeah,
items.
high ticket items.
Yeah.
There's now like a lawyer that is making $2,000 an hour, or a doctor or something like that, that is your customer, my primary customer, that doesn't have time to go to Home Depot and search for materials and contact a designer, because his time is so valuable that he just wants shit done. They will hire you because they know they're dealing with professionals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's even goes as far as like how you take payments, because it's like I deal with a lot of contractors myself, and I'm like, okay, send me a credit card link. Oh, no, 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 if you're gonna pay me with a credit card, you gotta pay the credit card fee. I'm like, bro, that's the cost of doing business.
Yeah,
Have you
exactly.
ever go to Bloomingdale's to pay $10,000 and they're gonna charge you a credit card fee? No.
Never. Never. Have you
it,
gone to a gas station
yeah,
and the gas station lady tells you there's a fee for the credit card?
yeah.
Never.
So it is for me. It's all like I read Steve Jobs' book, and I continually read Steve Jobs' book, his own biography,
Yeah.
Steve Jobs by Steve Jobs, Walter Isaacson, and his thing was about the customer experience, making the customer experience seamless. It wasn't about how the cell phone worked. It was about the iPhone always being 3 clicks away to any function. And he spent hours before he released the iPhone, him carrying himself and finding, places that the software wasn't working however he wanted
But
it.
that's you know how, for example, Simic says how you work from the inside out.
Yeah.
That's exactly how Apple works from the inside out. Like they don't, it's the different way of working, and that's where exactly yes.
And so for me, it's about how can I make the construction process that is, painful sometimes. It's a lot of complicated stuff. When you're designing things that are high end, there's a lot of variables,
Yes.
multiples. I mean, and all these things are like quarter inch, 1/8, like
Yeah.
you fuck up, really.
Easily.
And easily, and it's a lot of money on the line. And
Materials that
super
are
expensive.
stopped because whoever said don't let them in, don't.
Yeah,
It's
and,
crazy.
and so to me is how can I make that process as easy as possible, and for the customer, not for me, so when people are like, oh, sometimes they send you a link to fill up some information because they want to collect your information. Why do I have to spend my time sending you my information for your company? How can you not collect my information?
Correct.
Like
How do you deal
companies-
with, for example, how do you deal with the vendors that are usually from the outside of the U.S. Canadians?
I bring those from Colombia,
Yeah,
and I buy some Italian like wood planks that are specials, and I don't know. I deal with like whatever person sell it here that I know are reputable, and I always have a buffer for problems, because you know as well as me that if you're running a business, it's a problem making machine every day. So every day you wake up and you just fix problems every single day. Like whatever person thinks like, and I always tell people like they are like, oh, I want to open my own business. That's how way I have freedom. I have my own time and all that stuff. Yes, you do.
yeah,
But for the first 10 years of your business, you kind of have to forget about lifetime balance. Like there's your life is not gonna be in balance. You're gonna work until 8:30 p.m. and you're gonna wake up the next day and there's gonna be a bunch of problems again on the next day, and then you never. And as it
It's
gets
a
bigger,
never-ending problem. We just get better we
solving
get
the
better
problem.
at solving problems. We solve problems faster now.
Yeah, and also experience. You know, like when you encounter a problem, okay, I already saw this problem.
Yeah.
You know, I already been here. And another thing on the service business that I always tell people is like, you have to show the customer that the problem is not that big. When the problem is sometimes, you know, because that happens to me sometimes. Oh, Fabio, you know, the fridge is not in the right way on the kitchen. They come home and I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal, sir. Like, we got it. No, but
You move it an inch to whatever he wanted to, of course.
But it's because customers are emotional,
Yes.
and then they come, you know, with emotions,
That's everybody is.
and then you have to be a level head, and then you have to show that I had the tools to fix the problem.
They hire you to do things how they envision you doing it. It's the
Exactly.
way I'll say that. You know, like they want you to do it in a specific way. They might have said okay right now. Wife said something. He came back and he's it's an inch. It's an inch off.
Yeah,
It is what it is. You move it an inch. That's why, because it may not be this customer, but might be his referral to the next customer that just
Oh, like I always, like I the other way I was thinking about how my business are generated now, and I can literally, there are some key customers that I have that I can literally track hundreds of thousands of dollars to this customer in referrals, and it's like you do good work, they recommend you, and it's not that everything was rosy and seamless and there was no problems. No, there were problems, they were fixed, you know.
of course.
And also it's like the lifetime, and this is the importance of, sometimes I tell people that everybody has gotta have at least a little bit some understanding of marketing background when you're running a business,
Yes.
because there's something called the lifetime value of a customer, right? There's the reason why AT&T will give you $500 to move to their network, because you pay them, they give you 500, but the lifetime of having you in their network may be, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars over, you know, over a lifetime. So when you think of a problem that is like, let's say a customer wants me to fix his, let's say, I'm gonna give you a specific example. When customers leave, like open drawers for vanities and all that stuff, sometimes they get in there and they move the pit traps, and it leaks.
And it leaks, yes.
And it leaks. And then they call me like 6, 8 months, 10 months later. Hey, Fabio, a pit trap is leaking. The vanity is gonna go
Fix it
bad.
for free.
And they're like, you know, this was like that. They're trying to explain that it was, but I don't care.
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't matter. It's just let me get back in there.
And
Let me fix it for you, and there's no problem.
There's no problem.
Are you happy, sir? Thank you for calling
Thank
me,
you.
by the way.
Yeah, and thank you, sir. Oh, Fabio, how much are you? Nothing, sir.
Nothing.
And then you have, or like I consider, you know, stupid, like I'm sorry about the word, dumbasses. It's like they want to fight about sending a technician that, because they're gonna spend $100 on
Yeah.
fixing a pit trap, and I'm like, why? Why in the world are you gonna risk pissing off a customer that can,
Or sending the guy. What's happened to that I've seen a lot is the office lets the guy that's going back in there know that is for a simple thing that is under warranty. So now the technician goes in there and pisses as hell because he's going for a
for
warranty.
free? Yeah.
You know, he's going. Yeah, so it's like, no, man. every customer, every job, as small as it could be, counts.
And also is there's I think this is, it's called the 6 circle. Every human being has the capacity to influence 6 people.
Yes.
This is a
Well,
standard
way more.
marketing.
But
No,
yes.
but you have 6 people that listen to you. The other ones may listen to you a little bit, but you have 6 people that really listen to you. That's a study behind. So when you're pissing off a customer, it's 6 potential customers, and then
Oh, yeah.
those 6 potentials may be 36.
Word of mouth is the biggest business, man.
So don't get into small fights. Is
That's not worth it. It's not worth it.
and if I did a bathroom for you that was $40,000, and then I'm gonna be petty and try to charge you $300 for something, at the end, is like, why? And then when I was doing the last like marketing changes in my company, I asked ChatGPT, give me the 10 reasons why people hate dealing with contractors in South Florida. So ChatGPT gave me the list with the 10 things. Literally,
So
it took
precise
me-
too, by the way.
yeah, and in seconds. Like
In
I didn't have
seconds,
to do a marketing study,
Nothing.
nothing,
Nothing.
You may be mad at ChatGPT, but it's the future. Use it. So I did this, and then he told me, people get mad about the change orders.
Yeah.
Like I have to do this change order for you, and yeah, there's big change orders that have to be done,
Within,
of
of
course,
course.
But there's a $10,000 change order, and there is a $250 change order. That one, I think, if it's like a 30, even a $10,000 button, eat it,
Eat it, of course.
eat it. Don't
That's
worry about
that's
it.
exactly why you hired us, because I'm not gonna be the change order guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I see it. So that's one of my sales speech. Whenever I go into sales, I tell him straight up to the customer when I know he's high end customer. I just tell him right up the front. Listen, I'm not gonna be the change order guy.
Yeah, and
This is my price, and we can negotiate, of course, but I'm not gonna be the change order guy. And there's a lot of things here that you gotta oversee so that you know you're getting a good quality of a job.
and the way
And it's like you're saying. So if you do that, and then you have something like a $10,000 hit on you, listen, don't change it, man. Just take the hit as a man, because that customer, that client trusted you into that other 6 people you were talking about influencing.
yeah, and the penny pinching. I always tell customers at the beginning, because the way I price my bathrooms, they are like, and I'm like, don't worry, I'm not gonna penny pinch you. You want me to change the location of the GF5, and it wasn't, it wasn't part of the original contract. Don't worry about it. I got you. If it's within the bathroom and within general things, and I'm gonna keep you happy, it's your bathroom. I'm gonna do it. As long as I don't think you're taking advantage of me, then I'm good. This is where we just talked about a book before the podcast started, about the book Never Split the Difference, when the guy speaks about you recognizing bad customers from the get-go.
Yes.
The guy who's always asking for a discount, he's never happy. He's never gonna be happy. So the moment that I start a conversation, with the phone, and if every question is about how much it is,
That's a bad customer.
it's a bad customer. Leave it alone. It's not gonna be worth it.
My whole staff knows that, man. Like there's like even when I pick up a phone, that I still do pick up the phone a lot, and I just hear like certain things, their voice, how they're saying things, and especially if they're asking about how much and this and how much is that, I'm like, nah, that's not a good customer. Especially because if you're calling me, your AC's down, so you need us to go out there. It's not a matter of money; it's getting the good quality customer representative into your house.
Yeah, to fix the
But
problem.
definitely a sign of bad customers is a lot of things.
No, that I recognize that. Like, and the first thing, I have a lot of like formal sales training, right? A lot, and the way that you approach pricing, how you say pricing is essential to like how you can sell something very expensive. If you're not confident about the price of something, and you like, oh, how much it is? Oh, maybe, I think it's maybe, I don't know, man. I have to charge you 10,000. No, my price is 10,000.
The maybes.
No, maybe.
The
This is
maybes.
10,000.
Yeah,
This is
of
10,000,
course.
and this is the contract, and this is my wire information. Let me know. That's it. Because it's like the way I explain customers, some prices are facts. Like the slab that I'm setting on your wall, that is marble, that is $7,000. How much you think many guys I have to use to set this thing on this wall?
Exactly. Yeah.
I cannot do this with cheap labor, with cheap tools. So when people approach me and their only issue is how much it's gonna cost, how can we, always cheaper and all that stuff. There are contractors that are willing to do that. I'd rather just deal with. I'd rather build things that are so beautiful that they sell themselves, and the customer is willing to pay for it, than dealing with cheap customers. There are plenty of companies that do cheap labor. And
So the way I see it is, I'd rather deal with the customer that really wants you, rather than that one that started out just wanting the best price.
exactly. exactly. And
because the one that really wants you, you're gonna absolutely do your best for. He's gonna appreciate your job and he's gonna pay you happily. And that way, when you have those type of clients, it's just you know, to me, it just really makes sense to what I do. Because I'm in the enjoying business, not in the pity business where I started nickel and diming you and now it's all I'm gonna do anyways.
and also is the entire transaction is awkward from the get-go. So I had set places. If you go to my website, it says for our bathrooms is minimum investment is 10,000. Like even in my Instagram sometimes it pops up. So I'm letting you know, like I'm not going into your house if it's for less than $10,000, even if it's a
course.
powder bathroom. And people sometimes, oh, you're too expensive. It's fine.
It's fine.
You know, if you go to Gucci, there's a line in Gucci and there's like a line in Walmart.
Yeah.
Both have a line.
Everybody's got a line. All good quality got a line for sure.
Yeah, so
The thing is that you were talking about it earlier. It's just a different type of clients. You know,
exactly.
if you're dealing with, I don't like quantity.
Quantity.
I mean, I'd rather a lot of well done things than a whole lot of of things. You know, like how do you call that? I'd rather quantity over. No, I'd rather quality over quantity.
Yeah, and it's like even if you have any understanding about business and pricing and all that stuff, only big companies can compete to be the lowest prices. Like only Amazon that has pulverized billions of dollars trying to get market share can sell you something at a loss. Or Walmart. Nobody else.
Yeah, everybody can sell the same.
You know, so if you're a small company, you cannot try to ever be, you know, the less expensive one because you're not gonna be able to compete with people that are been doing this thing for so long that they're able to, you know, bring their margins down to a point that they just want to be that. They don't care about being nothing else but cheap.
Yeah.
You know? And
because they want they want quantity.
Yeah, that's it. And they don't care.
I want to fill in the numbers.
Yeah. And
give me a lot, and now I can perform at a high end level.
Never.
Because it doesn't cost the same for somebody to do a right meticulous job to then just hire a guy just off of Home Depot that say he does tile for a living.
And in my line of work, one of my mantras is I only use a specialist. Like if you call me for a job and I ask you what you do and you tell me no, I do everything, then you don't do nothing well. You may
believe that,
know a little bit,
yeah,
about something, but
right,
you don't know nothing well. I have
that's
a
a
carpenter
handyman.
guy.
Yeah. That's a
handyman.
very entry level handyman.
Handyman that is, you know, he's installing TVs and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Nothing wrong, but
he might install a cricket.
Yeah, yeah, no levels.
So
Yeah, exactly. But I only bring a specialist. My carpentry guy, he only does woodwork
because it's high end quality.
Yeah, and they've been doing the same thing for years.
High end quality, not quantity.
Exactly, and that's the mantra. And if you follow industry leaders, which I do in my field, you can see the quality of the carpentry was done by people that have been doing carpentry for years. Only the stones, everything is you and even in tile work, you have guys that are specialists in floor, and you have guys that are specialists in bathroom walls.
So how long would you think you've been in business?
This business has been running for like 5 years, but I've been at construction since I was like in my 20s.
Exactly what I was just getting at, because you have way more experience than just 5 years. And that's what people don't sometimes see, because you start a business, the first 2 years is kind of hard, and then how do you know all this? Why do you know all this? Is because you started young. You have a very young background of going out into the field, working for free on the weekends. So all that build up to a lot of knowledge that now you packed in your business in this 5 years.
And the other one too that is essentially is I stay in my lane. My lanes is hiding bathrooms, kitchens, flooring, interiors, you know, and somewhere like interior custom work, right? When people ask, "Hey, Fabio, can you do a pavers outside?" No, sir. We don't do
Yeah,
pavers
why would
outside.
you start
Oh,
doing all types of things? Like you said, you know?
and then one of the things is every time I do a bathroom, it's like it's like I'm ironing a very good shirt, and every time you do a bathroom, it comes out better. But if I go do a window, then the window is shaded because
Yeah.
I don't do windows.
For
Right.
example, imagine using the same guy that does your bathroom to now do the rocks outside for the
For the honor.
for the layout of your driveway.
It's not. It doesn't
First
work.
of all, that guy that does very meticulous, good job on the bathroom. Once you put him to do that, he might stay to be in,
Yeah, to earn some money.
he might stay, but then when he goes back into doing the bathroom, you fucked it all up.
Yeah,
You know, that guy has. So you like you said, you got to use specialists that know what they're doing and don't go out of your way.
no, and then people like the name of my company is the bathroom guy. Like it's so like what you do
It's good for marketing. It's good for
great
marketing.
Yeah, it's like the bathroom guy.
Yeah, it's good for
Just
marketing.
find me on Instagram. Go to your bathroom guy, and that's another tool. Like it's funny how many people think they can live in today's business world and don't have a very good looking Instagram and don't have content that people relate to it. Like they
Visual.
just go with their they just go with their cell phone and it's like the camera is messed up and they just take a picture and the job site is a mess and all this stuff and like that's how you're gonna sell. Really?
Hey, that was me before I hired Mike. I swear to God, man. I was the camera behind, I was using my phone and I was trying to do the best I could doing, I was trying to do it all myself. The Instagram, the web page, everything until I hit a point where I have to hire a bunch of experts and specialists, like you said, to do what they do best in their field so that I can do what I do best in mine.
Yeah, the way I have it set up is, and anybody is welcome. You can find me, and I'll help you introduce people in Colombia. But I have my marketing guys in Colombia.
Beautiful.
I take pictures,
And
I
you're
make a
helping
video.
out the Colombian community over there as well.
Yeah, and they're making more money for a Colombian job,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because I'm paying them a little bit better. They're very responsible. They do very good work, remote work, and I don't bother them as long as they produce what I need. I
Yes.
send them the content. They manage my Instagram. I do the actual targeting here. you know.
Okay.
But besides, and it's like, and they're not cheap for Colombia, and that's another thing that I see with young entrepreneurs, people that are starting their business. It's like, think about as the people you hire to run your marketing is like if you just eating McDonald's. If you hired somebody who's just cheap,
Yeah.
then you're gonna get cheap work.
Of course.
So there's people that, oh no, how you gonna pay so much to this guy? I have a guy that in India that runs my Instagram for $49. Okay, I want the explanation of a guy in India, how he's gonna run the Instagram of a company in Miami, how he has any cultural awareness.
He has no idea. He has zero idea of really how even Miami works. And you're letting this guy handle your social media content, of course.
Media.
You were saying about the people in
No, they I always tell people, don't you're trying to run your business. If you wanna like stream your Instagram, like have somebody run it for you, don't just go on some of these websites like Fiverr or something and find some guy in India charge you $49 to run your Instagram every month, and then they tell you that they get you followers. They literally just use bots to get followers and all that stuff, and then
they create their own. They themselves create 500 pages and start following you.
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
And then you don't get no results, and then you blame social media for not getting no results. It's not social media; it's the content that you're creating,
Or how it's being exposed.
and how it's being exposed,
And how
It's
it's
the
being exposed.
and the quantity, and they don't really understand your business. The person running your Instagram.
They're not here.
And they don't have no cultural like awareness of of the United States are all, so it's like, just for that, just, I don't know, just give
Give it to
$50 to a
Instagram,
crackhead every day.
or give it to Instagram, and it'll probably do better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Promote your own videos on Instagram
Oh
rather
no,
than
if you don't, if you think Instagram, just having an Instagram without boosting, like without actually doing specific
Yeah.
marketing,
Yeah.
it's gonna give you results. Is that time left?
It's done.
It's done.
For a lot of years. It was done a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
Right now, if you don't invest into marketing and you put a little money in there, your page, as pretty as you might want to be, it's not growing.
that train left the station.
Yeah.
I always tell people.
That shit left the station. Boop. Se
It's
fue.
gone. Se fue. No. And I, and sometimes people ask me for advice, friends that know what I do and all that stuff, and I'm always telling them, like, spend some money on the content, spend some
Yes.
money on the content,
Yes.
do targeting, and then I have friends that is an electrician, and it's like, but how can I explain electrician? How can I, it's like, there's not nothing beautiful about a picture of a electrical panel, But I'm like, no, but it's talk about the business, beautiful lamps,
Yeah.
you said,
Yeah,
They-
then to electricians, a lot of things. Yeah.
and that, it's not only, a cable, there's the services, explain everything. The way your logo looks, like, is so many things about marketing, that even like the lines on your logo, the colors, the way you dress, is all of it is
Everything is important.
everything
is
is
important.
very important, especially when you're competing for the high ticket items. Everything matters.
Everything matters.
Yeah.
Everything does matter. Fabio, tell us about, what would you tell your 5-year-old? What would you tell yourself to to you being 5 years old?
Learn more from your dad a lot, because when you're growing up, like, sometimes you become a rebel, especially if you have controlling parents, and they really mean well, they're just showing you the world their way, right? But if you really, listen to them, because nowadays I can track back a lot of the things I have done in my life now to things that I learned with my dad. But it wasn't him teaching me, like, hey, Fire, this is how things done. It was him doing things that now I know how to do a lot of stuff. And it's like, I always is like, okay, like, be more mindful that your parents mean well. They just, maybe a way that they're communicating with you, it wasn't, like,
It
the
wasn't
right
the
way.
best, of course.
But and it's, live and you learn, and there's always, I don't know, life is gonna be complicated and tough,
As it always is.
and very important, never stop working out.
Never start working out. Why?
I don't know, I think I was talking to someone in Colombia, and I said a lot of problems in your life get fixed if you wake up early and you go to the gym.
And you, yeah, that's
Yeah, is it changed your mindset, by 8 a.m. I have done a CrossFit workout, I have done a cold plunge, I have done my sauna, and I have listened to a podcast.
you already win the day. You're
won the
already
day.
ahead of the game.
Yeah. And when I get to your office and it's 8:30 a.m. or 9 a.m. and you just put in your coffee to brew,
You've been up. You've been ready.
You're dead with me. Like, my RPMs are different.
Yeah.
My body is going already. I did a very tough workout. Push yourself. Like, it's when you push yourself to a breaking point on a workout, you start moving the boundaries that you have, and that's very important in life, because the only reason I think I can fly on a private airplane is because I saw my family do it.
Wow.
So it's like, I think I can own a jet. I think I can have a private plane. I think I can have mates, chauffeurs, all this stuff, because I saw do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so your mental boundaries get moved by the stuff you do, by the the proximity to things. And if you're not going to a gym in the morning and pushing yourself to a breaking point, then you will never really are testing your brand daily. And I feel sad for people that don't do it, and their body looks a mess.
Yeah.
When people see you fit, they respect you.
But not only because of how you look, but they know the
The way
work
you
that
carry yourself,
the work that
Yeah.
it takes
Yeah,
to
of
look that
course.
way, the way what you eat, how you work out, all these things matter.
Yeah, and I believe it builds self confidence the way
It's
you look.
definitely that last minute in CrossFit that just either either you quit or you just finish at your max. It's
Yeah.
that arm, that last rep that you're in your head battling with yourself, and that last minute is what you came for. And when you add it to the business,
Oh, it makes
that
a
last minute, that last minute of business, that's what you came for. That you're tired, whatever excuses your own head kind of just put in there,
yeah.
and you're battling that. That's what makes a winner.
And it's like I when I go home, I want to be I when I get to my home from CrossFit, I want to know that I left it all. Like I try to go RX. I want to push
That
that way.
defines you. That defines you as a person, of course.
And then the same thing in business, like sometimes it's 7 p.m., 7:30, I'm in Delray. I still gotta come home. I have a job sign Davy, and it's like I gotta stop in the job sign Davy because I wanna know what
You
went
want to
on
give
over
that
there.
extra mile because you
And-
already started giving that extra mile in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning, exactly. And then I stop there, and it's only then when I see it took me only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But you know what? The customer saw me in the camera coming to his house at 8:30
So
at night,
valuable. Yes.
and he's like, Fabio, that dude has
He's
stopped
everywhere.
has stopped
He's
every
everywhere,
day,
yeah.
even at 9 p.m. at night.
Yeah, he's everywhere. So, Fabio, tell us, you're Colombian. I would love to know, what would you tell the Colombian community as a young entrepreneur?
What I tell the Colombian community, and I see, Colombians are great entrepreneurs because in Colombia, if you don't start your own business, like something that is yours, you pretty much, unless you work for a big company, you're always gonna be working for someone for a salary, right? So Colombians learn very early in life that I gotta start something that is mine. It's that hustler mentality. And yeah, it granted, it's a country where a lot of illegal stuff happens. So a lot of people, take, their bad route, but the ones that don't, the ones that use their ingenuity, and they get here. I have a lot of friends that came to this country, started doing valet parkings, are here right now. They own the valet parking company, or they have multiple businesses, and they came literally started running as a valet parking person. And what I tell people is this country is full of opportunities, man. You just get here and do honest work and specialize yourself in something, and the possibilities are endless. I believe.
Absolutely, you're in the right country for it. Fabio, where do we find you, brother? How does this beautiful people find you?
Okay. You can follow me on Instagram, Fabio Gomez Jr. And or you can follow my company, Your Bathroom Guy, on Instagram, and in both of those places you can find me.
My brother, it's been a pleasure and honor having you. I think so much information to be shared, that
Thank
you
you.
just laid out, to especially the Latin community. Seeing you, I mean, I see you as a very successful man, and that's where you portrayed, and that's where you want others to be. So it's super honorable to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. As soon as you told me, I was like, let's do it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
So-